Hello guys and welcome to another video. In this video I'll be talking about charging your hybrid. So this is another episode of GT Sport Driving School, and it's kind of a variation what I usually do, and this is going to be just about hybrid and charging the hybrid on one track. So you can probably use this strategy on multiple other tracks, but I will just show you an example how to do it here and how to use it on this week's daily race at Spa. It's a pretty long race, and in the end I actually got a 6 seconds by using this strategy. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, let's get this video going, and on the left hand side you have with charging, and on the right hand side you have the strategy without recharging. You will see the advantage and you will see the difference just when we actually get to the second lap. In the first lap it won't be that significant, or actually I will be slower on the left hand side with the charging. So in the first lap, don't expect to be faster immediately. This is really gonna come into the second corner, and it's the second lap, and you can see me just tapping the brakes slightly before my usual braking point. I'm actually pushing maybe 10 to 20% more, I would say, for a slight period of time. For example, if your braking point is at 100 meters, you should start this at right about 150 or even 200, but slightly braking while putting the throttle down. So no lifting of the throttle, slight tap on the brakes for maybe 50 meters, and again it was all about hitting your braking points after that. So this one I have a slight more charge on the left hand side, but at this point I'm a little bit slower. You can see on the right hand side this is going, I would say this is going really well for this lap. I'm in front, but this is important. Do not rush in the first lap, because if you kind of use all of your charge in the first lap, you will not be able to get it back, or you will have a hard time getting it back later on at the race. So make sure that you carry that charge and carry that momentum that you're getting here, and already you can see a big difference from the left to the right. The battery on the left is almost at about 50-60% charged, and on the right side you can see 20-30%. I would say maybe 20. I think it's the most accurate amount. So 20% and versus the 50 on the left hand side. This is quite significant, because now we are actually on the straight, and this is a big difference. So we have, I would say, maybe at this point 20-30% of the charge, and on the right hand side we have almost, I would say, maybe 5% of the charge left. So this is a big difference when it comes to the whole length of the race. In the first lap, as I said, I'm a little bit quicker, but look at this now. So I'm coming out into the main straight, actually onto the main straight, and you can see the charge going down on the left hand side, and I'm kind of getting quicker. I'm actually getting a little bit better acceleration, a little bit better top speed, and already at this point I am faster. So it only took me one lap that I probably lost around a second, maybe second and a half in the first lap, maybe not even that, maybe just a second, and then already I am running actually quicker lap times. And this is why this strategy is so useful and so important to use. So you can see no battery left, and this is the point where you should not use this strategy. If you have a low battery, or maybe put it like this: so if you have no charge left, this strategy will not work. So we use it only in the corners when you have a slight, I would say, maybe if you have more than 1% of the battery, then you can use it. If you don't have any charge left, then this strategy will simply not work. So make sure that you always have at least, I would say, at least 1% of the battery left. Then this strategy will work. And you can see me here charging the battery slightly, and again it's not a lot, but when you put it into perspective, if you get a few percent of the charge here and there, and you have 20 corners in the race, and it all adds up in the end once you get to the straight. So you're getting that momentum, you're actually getting the top speed sooner than you're actually getting it on the right without the charging of the battery. So in the end, this really makes up a lot of time. And this lap on the left, I think I did a lot of mistakes in this lap. It was just a slight mistakes, but you know, it all adds up in the end. And this is the point when I kind of lost, I would say, maybe 2 seconds at the total time. So those small tiny mistakes, and in the end it all adds up to 2 seconds, maybe even 3 seconds. So I think there is a lot more to get in this race, and this time can be definitely improved, especially if you're running the FIAs, if we're looking for yeah, if you're actually looking for the FIAs on Saturday, so I think this strategy could be really useful for you if you know how to use it. So make sure that you practice it, because without practice, this strategy is really not useful, as I said before. And I kind of took this as advice from my friend Zavisic. You can find this link in down below. I will post it down below so you can find him out. He's a really quick player, and he actually introduced me to this strategy. So I was quite surprised that you can get 5 to 6 seconds, maybe even more, in one race. So this is a trick. It's kind of actually not a trick. You still have to practice this one. You still have to practice all of those things together to make you faster. It won't actually come all of a sudden. You will actually be slower at the beginning. So if you're doing this for the first time, it might seem you're actually losing time, but make sure that you stay committed to the strategy and stay committed to using this slight braking, I would say slight braking technique, and in the end you will actually see the difference and see the lap times will get down. And only car that you can use this is the Audi R18. If you're doing this with a Toyota, it will simply not work, because Toyota charges in a different way. So again, we're coming down into the pits, end of the lap 5, and you can see the difference is really becoming significant. I changed my tires, and this is the point when it kind of shows, it really shows the difference. Already 3 seconds, maybe three and a half seconds quicker on the left hand side just by using this strategy, and we are halfway there. So we are in 5, we actually did 5 laps, and we need to do 5 more. So just to multiply 3 times 2, and you'll get 6 seconds, which will I get in the end. And of course, this is a pretty useful technique and pretty useful strategy to use. It might take a little bit of work, it might take a commitment, I would say slight commitment to it, but yeah, I think you can really benefit from the strategy. And you can see down there that the battery is charged on the left hand side, and on the right I have nothing. Acceleration zones are different, charging of the battery is different, everything becomes different. So we now need to look at this middle section of the track. You can see already I'm on the brakes, slightly 10 to 20% on the brakes there. Charge the battery, and versus the situation on the right is pretty significant. You can see it here, and again in this corner I'm using this technique, braking, and of course please do not miss your braking points, otherwise this will not work. And again, on the straight you can use that hybrid power, and it really becomes a significant advantage once you get on the straight here. And of course, once I actually get to this corner, you can actually see the big difference. This is the point when it's like start to slowly brake, and when the shadow actually ends, this is where I fully press the brakes down and get that significant amount of recharge. And of course you can just use this strategy here, slightly on the brakes, hitting the apex nice and easy, second gear on the way out to save the tires. And again, we have battery. Otherwise, on the right hand side, we didn't quite have the strategy. We didn't have the battery charge left. So a big difference. Try to use the strategy. It won't be easy, and I seriously recommend just try it. You will see it yourself. It makes a lot of difference in the end, especially if you're in a higher tier of racing. If you're I would say maybe if you're just a high rated player, you can actually benefit a lot more. If you're a low rated player, maybe this strategy can work for you, and you can actually recharge the battery in this way while you're driving behind someone. So for example, if you're in the slipstream of someone and you're kind of not that quicker on the straight, and you don't really want to go for a move at some points, charge the battery, stay in the slipstream, put the brakes down and charge the battery, and this way you will kind of have more braking power, more acceleration power and more battery recharge. So again, coming down into the acceleration zone, you will have a better acceleration. There will be just sitting ducks. You will just take them by ease. So it will be that easy that you even won't have to think about where to use it and what to do. It will just become so easy that you're gonna pass them on the straight. So this is what I'm talking about. And of course, we're gonna come down into the last lap. I want to show you the evidence that I actually got the quicker lap time. So let's get to it. And of course here I gotta mention that you really do not have to recharge the battery in your last lap, because you won't get a lot of time like that. So make sure that you use your whole battery and whole battery recharge once you crossed the finishing line. And you can see on the left hand side I already crossed the finishing line, and it was 20:05.9, and on the right hand side I just got to the line and it was 20:11.1. A big difference, and it was almost like 5.5 seconds, 5.2 seconds, and not a big advantage when you're looking at like a general scheme, like looking at 20 minutes. It's not a lot, but when you come into the higher tier of racing, those 6 seconds really mean a lot, and they can actually mean if you're losing the race or if you win in the race. So guys, I hope you liked this video, and I hope we're gonna have a lot of these videos coming in the future, and I'm gonna put a lot of focus on those details in GT Sport and in general stuff like this. I hope you liked it. Please make sure that you subscribe to the channel and leave a thumbs up on the video. Thank you again, and enjoy this one. Bye.